in terms of the... Sorry. Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, look, again, I think I've said before, my sort of role, and I've always felt my role is that, I'm not custodian of any football club. I have the responsibility of being a football manager for. Like everyone else, I'm a human being, and you struggle with these things, and you understand that other people will struggle with them. My life experience has taught me not to judge or come to any strong conclusions. I let the people who are affected by it be the guide in these kind of things, because it's very easy for others to cast judgment, but in all these things you're guided by the people who are directly affected, and all I can do as a football manager within our football club is try and provide support, advice, guidance in the best way I can and the best way our football club can to anyone who's struggling with these things. Again, I've always felt football, and sport in general, but especially football, is the greatest role it can play is just that. And it sounds trivial at times, but it can be a form of escapism with that 90-95 minutes where you can take people who are struggling with whatever they are in life just away from it, just for a little while, where for that period of time they're united around supporting their football club, and maybe within that context we can provide some sort of small solace or comfort or even a little bit of joy that takes them away from whatever they're going through. But that's where I don't try and sort of interject myself into these things, because there are things I do know about my own sort of upbringing, and I know about what it feels like to immigrant, and I can talk strongly about those kind of things, but my family's never been involved in the war, so it's not for me to cast judgment on it. Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit of all of that. It's a little bit of all of that. But again, we all know in our lives when we're going through tough times, sometimes we just need different things from different people, And I certainly don't try and overstep that mark. What I do try and hopefully do is create an environment here where players feel comfortable, whether players or staff or anyone involved in sort of the area that I'm sort of responsible for, is that if they come in, it's a space where they whatever they need they can find. Like I said, if that's advice, guidance, just a shoulder, that's fine. I don't, I care for all my players, all my staff. I make sure I say hello to every one of them every day, and if there's something that they need to sort of express to me, then hopefully I give them that sort of environment to do so. Or if I feel like there's something I can say that can help, I will. But again, with a lot of that, it's about being guided by the people themselves rather than me sort of trying to interject.
Tom?
And just on that, have you spoken about Solomon specifically about the situation?
Not specifically. I've spoken to Mano, because he's dealing with a couple of things. He's just had the surgery as well, so kind of helping him through that process. And again, it's not about me sort of trying to extract information from him. I'm there, and he's going through what he's going through, like a lot of people in his position. Hopefully, like I said, he feels like there's a place here where if he feels like he needs some extra help or guidance, we can give it to him. I'm not really sure, where that space is, because that's going to be determined by him and where he's at. But I had a chat to him a couple of days ago, and like I said, it's also about, I spoke a couple of weeks ago about having a balance in life, and he's got a couple of things to deal with at the moment, apart from that issue with his own injury, and the good thing is, he feels really positive about the surgery and how it's gone so far, and he's really keen to get back involved with the team.
This club obviously has a very long-standing association with the Jewish community. I think certain sections perhaps disappointed with the club's lack of acknowledgement, perhaps, of that community. I was wondering, generally, how do you see this issue in terms of football clubs being involved in issues like this? Do you think it's something that should be kept separate? Some people think that the club should be more involved, some people less.
Like I said, I just got to be careful about what I say, because sometimes people, I say I'm not the custodian in this club. I've been in this club for 3 months and 4 months, whatever it is. But every football club, and people have spent lifetimes in these clubs. So I'm not going to go around telling people, like I said, how to feel, how to behave, how to act, what to think. As I said, I think the greatest role football clubs can play in this scenario is to provide what they've always provided, a sense of one place where people can come and escape and hopefully unite as one to support their football club and maybe sort of take them away from whatever troubles they may have. I think that's the greatest role any football club has. But in terms of the club's position itself, then, the club will, whatever club I've been, I've always sort of been guided by their response to these things, because they talk to a lot more people and have a better understanding of, what the current sort of climate is, rather than sort of somebody like me.
You done? Sorry, Rob.
Just on that, Hamish, obviously it is the first home match since the escalation of conflict, because of the large Jewish community. How do you, if cocoon is the right word, how do you cocoon the players from that? Because you've got a job to do, you've got to get 3 points. How do you, there are emotions running high in the stands. Have you managed to have the players manage that, or is it just business as usual?
Well, it's not business as usual, because that's not how we see our role. Our role, like I said, is to provide our supporters with, something that, they want to see in their football team. And, when we go out there on Monday night, there'll be 60,000 there, hopefully, and many more, hundreds of thousands around the world, who just want to see their football team, play some exciting football and win a game and give them that joy that only football can bring. Because, when you score in that last minute to win a game of football, you don't care who's next to you. You don't care where they come from, what they think, what they believe. You're united as one for that moment, and that's what football provides, can provide. And I think that's our role, and it's always our role, irrespective of what the current climate is or what the climate may be next week or in weeks to come. Is football, like I said, maybe I'm not using the right term, but it is a form of escapism for a lot of people, in terms of just for those moments of providing some comforts and feeling like you're part of something bigger, and that's always our role as a football club.
Do you have any direct comparisons from your varied career when that's happened? Obviously we saw it with Sweden, didn't we? Through the league, where things outside influence football. Do you have any examples?
Yeah, I mean, you always do in sort of your experiences. I mean, I think I was the national team boss when we played Thailand, and the king died, and you've never seen a stadium full of people in mourning. Like it was, and it actually lifted their team on the day. The players, we ended up drawing that game, but that's the feeling in the stadium that night was surreal. But it still brought them to a football game, and they came there to watch their team, and it lifted their nation. And I know their players, because I know a couple of Thai players who felt that way. So there's always examples like that, and that's what's brought me to this position where I think football, that's its role, rather than us interject ourselves into these debates, is to maintain our status as a form of giving people some, whether it's hope or, like I said, some joy in difficult times.
James.
Yeah, just to, I was going to say, actually, when it's something so deep-rooted in a community and it's something so atrocious, is football still able, it's not like you've had a bad day at work, it's something real deep-rooted, is it football still possible to provide that escapism. And then maybe I guess with the Thailand example, maybe you feel that football is still able to provide that escapism.
Yeah, I do, because they'll still be there on Monday night, and they'll still be watching on Monday night if they can, and I think when football plays that role, it can sort of, show the best of what we can be as a human race, so to speak, sometimes. Because like I said, when you score a winning goal and you hug the guy next to you or the girl next to you, you're not really thinking about them, are you? What their upbringing is, or where they've come from, or what they believe, or what they did last night, or what they're going to do tomorrow, who they voted for. You're just hugging them because they're wearing the same shirt and they're following the same football team. So, but again, I don't want to, I'm always kind of reticent and wary to kind of reflect on how people may feel, because it's not me. It's just I can't sort of conceptualise what I would be like if that was me in that situation. I don't know. I could be totally different, so I'm not going to judge how people behave or how people sort of, what they may do in such events. But like I said, within our role, we go out there on Monday night, play hopefully some exciting football, and bring some smile to faces, and hopefully give people something to sort of feel good about.
Yeah, I guess the Thai example is kind of beyond escapism in the sense that it seems to suggest that they didn't just kind of escape from it. That emotion was used to kind of squeeze extra out of their performance, because it's such an emotional time for your fans. I guess it touches on what Rob's talking about. The atmosphere that's there, the emotion that comes out, that enables. Does that enable you to kind of draw? Do you draw from that emotion, or is it best to just separate from that emotion?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's fair to draw on that emotion, because again, that's sort of using, how people are feeling at the moment. It's more about understanding your responsibility. That's ultimately, we all represent this football club, and when we represent this football club, we represent the custodians, who are the people who have supported this football club their whole life. And that's our responsibility every week. Every time we go out there, I'm at pains to tell the players all the time that, they just want to see you out there playing for them. And if you're playing for them, the circumstances shouldn't matter. Sometimes there's more meaning to it, absolutely. But you're always playing for them.
Dan, we'll finish with you, please.
Just on Sonny and just the change tack, he said in midweek that he had struggled to